Hello, I am Hazelynne Laurette, and how are you, my dear darlings? I am usually known for my modeling and my acting, though there have been times I've been good with my charitable pursuits, and mostly I'm known for my desserts. There are very few people who are actually lucky enough to actually try my real cooking, my real home cooking. So I'm inviting you into my wonderful kitchen and my home and to see how I cook. So today's menu will be yeast rolls, chicken mushroom, green beans, and mashed potatoes. Now the chicken mushroom, the green beans, and mashed potatoes will be slow cooked. So currently we're prepping the yeast rolls. You need to go ahead and turn your oven to 425. Now what I've done is 400 because my oven runs a little hot. Now what we're going to do is take 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of butter, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, there we go. 3 tablespoons of white sugar, and a cup of hot water. And we want it hot because we want everything to dissolve properly. Now, with everything cooling off, we need to get out 3 tablespoons of sugar. We need to go ahead and once it cools off to lukewarm, go ahead and put the yeast in it and let it dissolve. 1, 2, 3, and the hot water. Hot water. We'll kind of let it cool off until it gets about lukewarm or so. And once it does that, we'll go ahead and add the yeast to it. Let's see, is it about right? Yeah, it's about right. Add the active yeast. You just need 1 packet, which is a quarter of an ounce of yeast. And kind of let it stir it in, mix it in until it dissolves. And while that's dissolving, you want to come over here and beat an egg real quickly. Go ahead. Oh, with yeast, personally, I will never use anything metal when I'm mixing or baking with yeast. A lot of it is I just don't like the taste of metal leaves. But you're welcome to use it in whatever you want. You're welcome to. Just let that dissolve. Mix it around. Take the egg, just 1 regular large egg. Break it open. And we're going to beat that real quickly. And once the yeast is dissolved, we'll need 2 1/4 cups of flour and 1 tablespoon of salt. While this is dissolving, we're going to go ahead and grease our loaf pan. This will make 8. I enjoy this. I enjoy making meals. Go ahead and grease that up. Actually, you know what? We need to wait for just a few moments because, to be honest, yeast needs to rise. So the dough needs to rise, and we're going to go ahead and finish up over here with, make sure everything gets blended in together. Pour my egg in and stir it real well. And then I'm going to go ahead and get 2 1/4 cups of flour. And this is all-purpose flour, so don't use self-rising or you really will have a mess. You'll have a huge amount of dough that you really won't use right now. So, 1, and 2. Let me get this last little, that was being stubborn. Let me get this last little quarter bit going on. And we'll tidy up over here, and I'll start prepping for the rest of the meal. 2 1/4 cups. And you, after this, oh, and I need a teaspoon of salt, don't I? Or a tablespoon of salt. We'll go ahead and use it over here. Go ahead and use some salt. And in here. Just about there. There we go. That's enough. Go ahead and mix it in. And you always want to cover the dough and let it rise twice the size of what it is. So that'll be a few minutes, and I'll prep the rest of the stuff while we're waiting on the dough. So we really want to cover it and clean up a little bit while we're doing this. Yeah. Next thing I'll start will probably be the mashed potatoes. So, what you'll need there is a little bit of lemon juice because I'm going to show you how to make homemade buttermilk. It doesn't take that long. It takes about 5 minutes. With some heavy cream, half and half, and a little bit of milk, and some lemon juice. So that'll make it good buttermilk. And we'll go ahead. Let that sit. We'll go ahead and cover that for just a second. Let that sit for just a second. Cover for it. Again, you want to use more plastic than you do, or natural type stuff instead of metal. Because metal will leave a funny taste in bread. So, well, that's my opinion anyways. Go ahead and just loosely cover it some. Me and saran wrap don't always get along very well, so I try. Yeah, just kind of lightly cover it. And let it sit. Tidy up a little bit. We probably will not need the sugar again. Actually, I'm pretty sure of that. So we'll go ahead and do our potato back here. Next thing we're going to need the potatoes. Yes, I prefer using yellow potatoes, personally. Clean them off real quickly. Take about, let's go ahead and say 7. 7's a good number. 7's a lucky number. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Clean them off pretty decently because we are going to use the skin. We are going to use the skin in the potatoes. I like it because it gives a little bit more texture. And yeah, we're really going to make some good homemade potatoes that are really scrumptious and really creamy. I actually had this concept given to me by a friend of mine. She works as a physical therapist, and her name's Chelsea. And I kept asking her why my potatoes didn't come right. Why they just didn't, why they don't have the right texture, why they not look right originally. And she told me that I ought to use the buttermilk instead of real milk to not make it so soupy. Alright, since those are clean, go ahead and get a nice big pot. Big pot. And for every cup of milk that you use, you need to use a tablespoon of lemon juice to make it buttery. So we can go ahead and do that really quickly. Excuse me. Go ahead and just get rid of the bowl. Choose 2 cups of water, so therefore 2 tablespoons of, or 2 cups of milk, excuse me, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then we have a quart of half and half in there that's fat free. So I'll crack into that in a little bit and use it actually when we're boiling down the potatoes. About 2 cups. Pour it in here. And put back there for just a second. Where is my lemon juice? Ha! There it is, back here. Like I said, a tablespoon per cup. So we'll go ahead and get another tablespoon out. Oh, of course this lemon juice won't be stubborn with me. 2 tablespoons. Give it about 5 minutes to culture. 1, 2. We give that a few minutes to culture. We're going to use 1 pint of half and half. Go ahead and put this in here. It'll get a good creamy effect, good creamy texture. Go ahead and put the potatoes in. Now what I like to do from here is I like to use chicken bouillon cubes and put some chicken bouillon cubes in there while it's boiling. Make sure the buttermilk's still making. Chicken bouillon, where is that? Right here. you know. I use about 3 cubes right now. So I think that'd be good. That one can stay down there then. If it wants to be down there, it can stay down there. These little devils like to fight with me too. But they're always fun to work with. They're always good flavor anyways. You can also use chicken broth for this, just straight from the can if you don't have chicken bouillon cubes. One. Yes, like I said, it's fighting with me right now, but we're going to add this, and after this, we're going to go ahead and prep the, again, all of this is slow cooked, so it has to take a while to get in the right texture. I'm going to go ahead and pour the buttermilk in here that we made. Pulls it really nicely. I think I'm going to add just a little bit of water to it too, just probably a quarter of a cup of water or so, just to make sure everything is in there. And we're going to let it slow cook on about low. Honestly, I like to slow cook as long as I'm cooking. Which today with the mushroom chicken, I want to cook it about 4 hours slow cooking. Now you can always throw it in the oven and cook it real quickly for 15 minutes with the gravy, but I would rather slow cook it because I love the texture and I love the flavor that comes from it. So let that slow cook. Go ahead and get some green beans out. Oh, this is a big, huge family size green bean. Because they're better to work with and they're easier to cook down with. Now you don't have to always use that, but it's easier. Let me go ahead and get a bigger pot for this. I don't mind my cabinets, y'all. It's a little messy, but it's a little scary sometimes. But that's how it sometimes is. Oops. Get the big pot out for the green beans. And with this one, I like to use not only chicken broth, but I like to use beef bouillon cubes as well. So I think it gives it a good flavor. I like to spice my green beans up a little bit. So I always add a little bit of cayenne pepper to it, and some onions. It's really a simple recipe, and it's really not that horrible on your diet either. Let's go ahead and drain these out. And then wash them out with well too. And drain again. Sometimes you get the ones that just want to get away. You just have to let them. Because there's always a better green bean waiting for you. Pour that all in there. And I'm going to go and get some cans of chicken broth. And I'll add it to, now I've got the chicken broth. You can use 2 or 3 cans. I'm probably going to put a little bit into the mashed potatoes just to keep it flavorful. So just go ahead and pour that into the green beans. And in just a minute, we're going to add some beef bouillon cubes as well. So, and some onions and a little bit of cayenne pepper. I like to keep things a little spicy. And the second can of chicken broth. 2. And I think I'm going to just use another half a can with the green beans. Which the biggest thing with green beans is you want to let them cook down, so they can absorb all the flavors and everything. So probably going to use a half a can of this and 2 cups of water. Let it kind of cool down. That's about half of a can. I'm pouring a little bit more into the mashed potatoes so that they're not boiling down too bad. Put the rest of it in here. And about 2 cups of water. 2 cups of water. Green beans. Put them on low. Go ahead and grab some beef bouillon cubes, minced onions, and cayenne pepper. Again, because we like to make it a little spicy around here. good dashes of minced onions, and about 3 deep bouillon cubes. 1, 2, 3. And we'll actually add 2 more chicken bouillon cubes to give it a good flavor to it. Good mixture of flavors anyways. This, like I said, it's pretty easy on the diet. It's not that bad. We don't use much that's fattening in it. This is a recipe that my mom actually taught me. And yeah, it's been one of her specialties for years. She's made it every holiday. Even when she's been sick, she's made it every holiday. Or she's had me make it, or my cousin make it. But, yeah, she taught me how to make this recipe. And I've kind of made it my own just a little bit. She doesn't prefer cayenne pepper in it. I like to keep it, like I said, I like to keep it a little hot, a little spicy every now and then. You mix this in really well. Let me find it. There we go. Mix it in really well. And again, you let it slow cook. Let it go in. I'm going to go ahead and get the chicken bouillon cubes. Do a bit. Finish up with the flavor that I want. And you just kind of watch it and you cover it and you let it slow cook. Because that's the best way to cook green beans, it's the best way to make mashed potatoes, it's the best way to cook a lot of meals is slow cook. Now if you don't actually have the time to slow cook, you can make this quickly, but it doesn't taste exactly the same. You can pour in the chicken broth and cook the green beans with a little bit of spice and a little bit of onions in it. It just doesn't taste the same. So I'm going to go ahead and stir that one more time. And put that right there. That covering it on medium and let it cook down. In time it'll cook down just perfectly. And again, this is probably going to be a 4-hour slow cook. So you have time to go ahead and clean and relax and do everything else that you need to do. The next thing I'm going to start, and prep anyways, go ahead and put these in the back burner. Medium. I'm going to get a nice skillet pan and I'm going to make mushroom chicken. Again, I'm going to have to go back out to the garage to get my ingredients. We have all of our ingredients. Granted, this is our first show, so give us a little bit of slack. I'm going to go over here and clean my hands again. And we're going to use 2 full packages of mushrooms. I prefer the pre-cut, so we don't have to always, do all the prep work and things of that nature. It's just quicker on time. Like I said, baby bellas I prefer. I'll go ahead and clean them off real quickly, really well. This is actually a recipe called chicken mushroom, or mushroom chicken, and I started learning this recipe when I was about 8 years old. It originated from just a regular can of cream of mushroom soup. Ooh, yeah. Go ahead and add a little bit of oil to that. We want to slowly, stir these into it and allow a little bit of time to go with the chicken. Go ahead and clean these off real quickly if you can. And, but yeah, I was about 8 years old when I heard about this recipe. It was from a can of cream of mushroom soup. And back then it just started out with putting the chicken in the cream of mushroom and baking it for a little while. Put both of them in there. And we're going to put about 6 breasts of chicken. Okay, do that. 3, 4. Kind of make some room in there. As much as possible. Because they're all going to be slow roasting anyway, so they better get along, right? But when I was about 8 years old, I saw this recipe on a can of cream of mushroom soup, and back then it just consisted of about 25 minutes of baking in the oven. And since then I've really developed the recipe as uniquely as I could. From here, we're going to go ahead and let them all simmer together. I am going to add a couple of dashes of onion powder. If it was open. Of course it doesn't need to be open right now, right? But add a couple of dashes of onion powder. Give it a nice little taste to it. I want to kind of mix in there. We're going to go ahead and add a little bit of garlic powder to it as well. Just a little bit. And I like to use a little bit of Spanish paprika, mostly for the color because there's not much flavor to it. But it gives a nice pretty little color once it's golden and starts getting together. So we're going to go ahead and get a top to this and let it simmer. Give me just 1 second. Just want to tighten it a little bit. I believe this one will fit just fine. Yep, perfect. And let those kind of simmer in together. You want to cook it about medium. Once they cook a little bit, we're going to go ahead and start turning them and moving things around a little bit. And let's go ahead and get this out of the way. This over here. Let's go ahead and start moving things around a little bit. We're going to start flipping them and turning them so we can get that real good mushroom taste, mixing with the other flavors that we just put in, the onion powder, the garlic, a little bit of paprika, and let the chicken kind of marinate with it. Now while we're doing this, we currently have the green beans cooking on low still, and green beans are cooking on medium, and the mashed potatoes are cooking on about medium low. So let that kind of cook in for a little while. Put it on medium. Once that's ready, it usually takes about 15 minutes or so on the skillet. Once that's ready, we're going to put the chicken into the slow cooker, and then we're going to make a nice little mushroom gravy to go with it, and we're going to put it in the slow cooker with it and let it cook. It's been about 15-20 minutes, and you should smell how wonderful it smells in here. I wish I had smeller because this is wonderful. It's beautiful as well. The chicken is almost done. Like I said, you want to get it to where it's all white. There's no pink in the middle. It's not rubbery. Some of these are a little bit bigger breasts, so we're going to have to stay on a little bit longer. Once they finish up, though, we're going to go ahead and put them in the slow cooker, and we'll make a nice gravy with that. And I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, move everything around. Still, it's a little packed, but it's all right. It's fine. It's something that I can't work through. And we're going to put the lid back on it and let it simmer for a little bit longer. While we're doing this, we need to stir everything real well. The green beans, I'm thinking they need a little bit of salt, a couple of twists of natural kosher salt, so it kind of hit up the flavor a little bit. As well as the potatoes, they can have a little bit of salt too. Nothing horrible. It's sea salt. So alright, it's been about 15, maybe 20 minutes or so. A little bit closer to 20 minutes than 15. And this chicken is looking beautiful. We're about to put it in a slow cooker and make a quick mushroom gravy and let it all simmer in real well. I'm going to go ahead and put these breasts. These are 6 chicken breasts, and we're going to go ahead and put them in the slow cooker. And we're going to turn the eye on really low while I'm mixing into a gravy. And let these go out here. This is a beautiful recipe. Like I said, it can be made really quickly in the oven. You can make a quick gravy and throw it in the oven for about 15 minutes. But again, I love the taste of it slow roasted and slow cooked. It just tastes amazing. I'll turn that on off. I've got 3 cans of cream of mushroom soup. Excuse me. And I'm going to go ahead and pour those in there as well. Stir them out. These things like to fight with me too. Whoops. Be careful. It might splatter. It might hurt you a little bit. Okay. First one. Go ahead and get the second 2 going in just a second. The reason why we're using this many cans of condensed cream of mushroom soup is that it gives a really good flavor, and when it's slow cooking, it'll cook down all the moisture. So you really need to add a lot of moisture to it as well. It's fighting me already. I knew this day was going to be trouble. But, again, this is our first video of Maximus and myself and of this cooking show, so give us a little bit of slack. I'm sure the next few will be absolutely wonderful. And as we're speaking about this, the yeast rolls are still rising, so I'm probably going to make that into a whole nother video in itself. Timing reasons why. And this is the last can of cream of mushroom soup. And let's go ahead and put that in here. You should smell this kitchen. I wish you could. Well, you can whenever you actually make this yourself. But it smells absolutely amazing. Like it's unreal. It's heavenly. So, like I said, whenever you get to make this, whenever you're watching this video and you're making this at your own kitchen, you can smell how amazing the smell is. You can try the taste of it later. Go ahead and wash my hands real quickly. But next we're going to add probably 2 cups of milk to this little mixture. And we're going to pour it in directly to the slow roaster over the chicken. And again, we're going to put it on 4 hours, which would be high on most slow cookers. A little bit more. And we're going to mix it real well. We actually really want to add the rest of the spices as well. So we're going to add a little bit more onion powder, a little bit more garlic powder, and a couple of dashes of salt and pepper. And a little bit more. A couple of dashes. A little bit more garlic powder. Not much though, because I actually have a little bit too much. I put them in just a smidge bit. A little bit more paprika, again for the color more for anything, because it's nice and cheery. A little bit of salt and pepper. We want to use kosher sea salt, which again it's not as bad as the regular salt. And this is per taste, so I like it just a little bit better than a little bit more spicy, a little bit more flavorful than most. And Maximus loves things a little bit more spicy. So we're going to go ahead and grab a spoon and mix all of this in together on low. Let it kind of cook. Again, this sauce is a little bit high. The saucepan is a little bit high, a little bit full. It's okay, so we're going to get it all mixed in real well, and it's going to look beautiful. The alternative way I actually cook this is I actually make a full-fledged gravy out of all the oil and all the good flavorings and seasonings in the skillet after I make the chicken. I make a good gravy and then I'll throw it in the oven for like 15-20 minutes if I don't have 4 hours to let it roast. So we're going to go from here. Like I said, let this kind of get on low and get all of it mixed together. We're going to need to stir everything again. I added a little bit of salt and pepper to our green beans and a little bit of salt and pepper to our potatoes just for flavoring. Again, it's your choice, whatever you want to do with that. Go ahead and get a spoon, kind of move around. There's a wooden spoon, you can see. To move around the potatoes a little bit so they don't stick to the bottom. Again, they're still slow cooking at about medium-low, and the green beans are on medium. Let's go ahead and stir this gravy a little bit. And then we're going to actually pour it into the slow cooker and let it simmer for hours, like 4 of them. So the next time you'll see me, after I pour this in here, will be 4 hours from now, and I'll start the yeast rolls about that time as well. Because pretty much by then, all I'll have to do is mash the potatoes and present. So let me go ahead and stir this around a little bit more. Be careful with what you're doing, because you don't want to make too much of a mess. Get as much lumps out as I can possibly get. And go ahead and carefully, the key phrase, pour this into the slow cooker. And this is, I think, a 6-quart slow cooker. So again, just kind of put it on 4 hours and let it simmer real well. Cover everything over. Mix around real well over it. Again, those chicken breasts that were fighting with me, they're going to have to get along in there. Now, what you need to do whenever you're slow cooking anything is make sure you always keep an eye on it to make sure that everything is going well. You don't want it to get overcooked, and you don't want it to burn. So you always kind of watch the liquid level, the moisture level, and if anything, add a little bit more to it. I'm going to go ahead and clean up now. Like I said, for the next 4 hours, let it roast. Okay, and so I'll see you in about 2.5 hours, and the dough's already risen for the yeast rolls. And the potatoes look like they're ready for mashing. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands and at least prep everything and get it all ready. With the yeast roll recipe, it usually takes about 1.5 hours or so for the yeast to fully rise appropriately, enough to actually want to use it in the product, in the ready to bake things of that nature. You know what I mean. So I'm going to go ahead and prep this like I was planning on earlier. Just didn't get around to it. Go ahead and spray it down with really good spraying oil, baking spray. And put that back there. So what we're going to do is take all this lovely dough that we've worked on, that's been fermenting and growing, because it is alive now, and put it into sectionals into this pan. So let's go ahead, and I like to use ice cream scoopers because they're really good at portion sizing. So they're really good at keeping things where they should be. So go ahead and take a good scoop and a half or so of yeast roll. It'll come out. Like to fight with me, I suppose. But everything has those today too. And we're all doing this while we're waiting in the oven to preheat for the rolls. It should be at 425, but I go ahead and put it at 400 because my oven runs just a smidge bit hot. And they only bake for 10 minutes, so it's a really quick bake. It's just the prep time, the waiting on the yeast to rise takes the longest. So they're looking beautiful and they smell beautiful. The whole kitchen is smelling great. We have the mushroom chicken slow cooking in the slow roaster or a slow cooker, and green beans are slow cooking, and the potatoes, like I said, it's like they're ready for mashing. So as soon as I stop fighting with this dough, I will go mash the potatoes. And can you do the, sorry, wow, that's a random moment. Don't ask. Anytime I hear that, can you do the mashed potatoes, that's the first thing that comes to mind. So, go ahead and even these out a little bit better, because there's some of them that just came out really messy. Let's go ahead and make them pretty. Or as pretty as they can be. That's the thing about my cooking, is it might not always be pretty, but it'll always be good. Make these look as pretty as possible, as presentable for the camera at least. Go wash my hands, get all the yeast off of my hands. It's never fun. Now, when we put those in the oven and let them bake for about 10 minutes, as soon as we're done, we want to brush over some actual butter to make them really well. Let's go ahead and toss this in the sink and get it out of the way. Toss this over here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the mashed potatoes until the oven is preheated. Right now we just need to put a little bit of garlic in it. Smidge bit of garlic. And some chives, a little bit of chives in it to bring up some great flavor. And then from there we're going to add a whole bag of grated sharp cheddar cheese. Kind of let it all get in there. It's going to be very cheesy. It's going to be very flavorful mashed potatoes. And we're actually going to take it, we're going to mash it. We're going to take a prong, spoon, fork, and wait till the potatoes are really, really good and soft. We're going to mash it. We're going to keep mashing until it all mixes around really well. Like I said, we really want the texture to be there, so we've kept the skins on. And now we're just really going through and breaking it all up and making it wonderful all at once. These look beautiful. I'll show you in just a moment once I finish mashing out really well. But they look absolutely stunning. It's something that your mama would be proud of me. I hope they turn out really well. I'm pretty sure they will. Pretty sure. But again, cooking is always one of those things that you gotta keep practicing at. So, I'll show you these beautiful mashed potatoes. Aren't they pretty? Yeah. Let's go ahead and, like I said, get it out a little bit more. Just gonna let it go in. So cooking, bring all the flavors in. We're gonna stir the green beans. They're sitting here, still slow cooking. They smell wonderful too. They haven't even been down. And let's go ahead and stir the mushroom chicken, because it looks beautiful. Like it really does. It smells good. Since the oven is preheated, I'm going to go ahead and pop these rolls into the oven. So there's 8 of them, so hopefully they turn out well. And we'll put it on for 10 minutes. I'll time on 10 minutes. And I'll see you in just a few minutes. So it's been about 10 minutes and my little alarm just went off. So let's go ahead and see how these rolls turned out. Ooh. Look how gorgeous these are. I am very proud of myself today. And I'm about to get Maximus a plate real quickly, fix him up one real quickly, and feed him, serve him, because that's what a good woman always is supposed to do. I will see you in a few minutes at our table. Alright, so we finally finished up the meal, and everything's been slow cooked, and my wonderful Maximus is here to enjoy with us. So I hope you enjoy my recipes as much as I have, and you have a lovely day. Someone's been seeing us eat silly. We're horrible.
It's going by.